I'm Bishop Gregory Parkes, and welcome back to Take 5, weekly conversations about our faith and life. Very pleased to be joined today by Father Chuck Dornquast, who is a priest of the Diocese of St. Petersburg. Father Chuck was ordained a priest for our diocese in 2015. His current assignment is as Director of Vocations and Seminarians for the Diocese, which is a very large responsibility. But also, since 2015, Father Chuck has served as priest chaplain for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Father Chuck, welcome to Take 5.
Thank you, Bishop. Thanks for having me.
So tell us, in your role as chaplain or priest chaplain for the Bucs, how did you get involved in that, working with the Buccaneers?
So someone who's on staff with the Buccaneers, Tim Giracchi, he's been with the team for, I believe, 13, 14 years, was also parishioner of St. Lawrence in Tampa. And he came to Father Mike and I when we first got there, saying they were in need of a priest who could celebrate Mass in 25 minutes or less. And so Father Mike was very kind and allowed me to take a shot at being a consistent presence for the team and celebrating Mass for them the night before games. And praise God, it stuck.
Well, that's great, and I've actually had the blessing of celebrating one of those Saturday evening masses at One Buck Place with you, and it was a special memory for me, so I was grateful for the chance to do that. Other than celebrating Mass for the team before home games, what other types of things do you do as chaplain for the team?
I'd say primarily it's a ministry of presence. A lot of our coaches and players, whether they're Catholic or not, a lot of them are faithful men. They really rely on Christianity and on the morals of Christianity to live their lives and to perform as athletes, but also to balance out their home life work, their home life relationship. So back home with their families, they're trying to lead good Christian and moral lives. So my role is to first be a minister of presence to them, to be a sign of hope, to be a presence that anybody of any faith background can engage with and in conversation. But our players and coaches are also incredibly busy. They lead very full lives, and so they don't have the opportunities to develop relationships at their parish, which the typical Mass goer can. And so in those places where there's a pastoral need, when there's someone who's losing their life or dying or grieving or in sadness or baptism or joy-filled moments, I become the presence of the priest for those situations.
That's wonderful. That's great to hear. And, so often we look up to professional athletes and sometimes even put them on a pedestal, but
Yes.
But we forget that they're husbands, right? And that they're fathers and that they have their own issues and challenges that they're facing at home. So I'm sure your presence and availability to them is very important. I also know that one of the great things you do is pray, right? One of the most important things is to pray for the team as well as for the players and the coaches. There was a kind of a famous shot on national television several years ago of you actually over on the bench next to our kicker who was having kind of a rough night. And could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Nick Folk, really good man, someone who I'd engaged with on several occasions, had missed several field goals that night. And the fans were really booing him, calling him out quite significantly, and I did not like seeing him being picked on. And so I went over and asked if I could pray over him. He said, "Yes, Father," and so I did. And as I finished praying, I looked up, and there was the National Football League television camera pointed directly at us. Tony Romo even commented on that moment, saying that's like going to your priest for confession. So it was a big moment, definitely a lot of text messages and other messages afterwards.
Well, that was great to see, and I'm sure that Nick appreciated your presence at that moment. So as we record this, the Bucs actually are in first place in the NFC South, even though we've kind of struggled this year, and we have a few games left. Now, you and I are both big guys. We could probably play on the offensive line, and they might need us this year, if things keep going the way they're going. But Father Chuck, thank you. Thank you so much for your priesthood and for your ministry. Thank you for ministering to our Tampa Bay Bucs, and wish God's continued blessings upon you. That's it this week for Take 5. We'll see you next time. May God bless you.